Today's episode of the BS Podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor, and the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. Other sites have the nasty habit of showing you lower prices and charging you huge fees at checkout. At SeatGeek, the price you see is always the price you pay, and you can get everything done through your phone. To start using SeatGeek, download the free SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Callaway, the presenting sponsor of the Shack House podcast with Jeff Shackelford and Joe House. That is the #1 golf podcast on iTunes right now. And speaking of Ringer podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the Ringer's new NBA show and the Ringer's new NFL show, our two brand new podcasts that debuted at #1 and #2 on iTunes and then stayed in those spots for 5 solid days. I hosted the Ringer's first NBA show, and I had Howard Beck from Bleacher Report as my guest. This was not a BS podcast. It was not on this feed. You can only hear it on the Ringer's NBA show feed. So subscribe now on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. And by the way, the NFL show already had 2 fantastic NFL draft podcasts with Kevin Clark and Robert Mays. 2 young boys that are very good at what they do. I highly recommend those podcasts. The Ringer's NBA show, the Ringer's NFL show. Subscribe right now. And we're off.
Yeah. Clear enough for you? All right.
He's back. The man who owns the F-bomb record for the BS podcast. And I would advise you if you're driving your kids to school right now and you're like, oh, I'll put in the Simmons podcast. It'll be a nice listen for the whole family. I'd probably advise against that because this man's coming in hot. He's Michael Rapaport. He's hot. Yeah, I can see it. I can see the smoke rising.
The fact that you tell the people to get rid of the women and children is not good.
I didn't tell them to get rid of them. I just said, just think about it.
I say, it's not like I'm on your podcast saying cocksucker and derogatory shit. Like every now and then, fuck, boom. I know you're excited to be on HBO.
Yeah.
I don't even think you should say fuck on there. I just think it's beneath you. You have a gift for gab. You're a pensman. You know how to write. Leave it to the animals. You know what I mean? You don't need to do it. Maybe one every now and then, but I think it's beneath you. It's predictable. Like wait till like show number 9.
I was gonna feed a baby to a wild pack of dogs in the first episode. That I have no
problem with.
Yeah,
that's good
because that's the standard now.
You got to do something. You got to do something. I just want to point out to the listeners. Bill's got an assistant. We're in a whole new studio. He's got new posters.
This is my office. We don't even have this. The next time we do this, we're going to be in a real studio.
Office. There's flatties all over the place. There's new art. Everybody's feeling good.
The Swayze Roadhouse cardboard stand. He's smiling at you. He's approving.
Everything is good. This is a complete upgrade, and I'm impressed. I asked your assistant. I said, "Are you from Boston?" And she said, "No, I'm from Miami." Because I thought,
she's from Miami.
I thought you might have brought in one of your own.
No, her dad's from the Bronx, and she grew up in Miami. So there's like a Heat Yankees thing with her, which I'm still trying to reconcile.
Yeah,
speaking of reconciling, you haven't come on here since couple tragic deaths, but one that was very, very close to you.
Which one? Oh, Fife.
Yeah.
Well, Fife from A Tribe Called Quest. I mean, that was huge, big, upsetting, devastating. The best thing that came out of that is you saw the world literally, and it's continued to come how much he was beloved. I mean, I've always known that this group was beloved. But
you did a documentary about them, we should say. That was
Times in Life.
Yeah.
Travels of a Tribe Called.
What's that streaming on now?
iTunes.
There you go.
So yeah, that was tough. It was tough. I mean, he had a beautiful service at the Apollo, and the thing that was special about it, beside the fact that the entire top of the Apollo was filled with fans wearing Fife Dog T-shirts. It was
nice.
It was beautiful. There was quote unquote old school hip hop there. His peers, and then the next generation, and it just goes to show how much he influenced and how Tribe, one of the things that they did so beautifully is they took the torch from the Grandmaster Flashes and the Kool Moe Dees, and they pushed it forward, and the Zulu Nation and the Africa Bambaataa, and then they did their thing, and and the Kanyes and the Andre 3000s and the Pharrells, they all took what they did, and amongst others. But it was sad. No bigger sports fan No, I never knew any. Fife Dog, when we were filming the Tribe Called Quest movie, I'd be like, I want to talk about Midnight Marauders, and somehow we're on a conversation about, I don't know, Marshall Faulk. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. How are we on Earl Campbell again? Like, he was just the biggest Knicks fan and the biggest sports fan.
So you had like 25 years of hip hop history at this funeral? 30 years?
It was
Go back to the mid 80s.
Cool Herc was there. It was from the beginning to now. Everybody was there.
You're talking like 35 years.
It was the inception. Whatever the date was when it actually started, it was all there, and it was all love, and it was beautiful, and it was in New York. And
who was the most modern star that was there? Like, was Kendrick there?
He wasn't there, but he was in Australia, and he did a beautiful thing on stage in Australia. Like, he stopped his show, and Kanye was there.
Kanye was there?
Kanye was there.
Wow.
He got up on stage. He spoke. It was beautiful. It was special. It was special. Like, it was very, like, it was fit for a king. It was a send off for literally like a king. Like, you'd be, if I could have half that response, a quarter, if I could have like a fifth of that, when I go, knock on wood, just the love and the respect and the family, just like the people that knew him, the fans, the whole thing, it was special.
Well, I was watching Stars like a month ago, and you almost got killed in the hot tub.
Which one?
It could have been there. Copland was on.
Oh, right.
Jesus, what was Harvey Keitel? I didn't think it was going to get that. I don't know. That got really bitter with you.
It got bitter.
I get scared now because I know you and we're friends. When I watch movies where you're about to get killed, I feel like you're actually going to get killed.
He smacked my face during the making of Copland.
Did he really? You should.
He smacked my fucking face
Intentionally,
Oh yeah, no, he
move?
smacked me in the face, and I had no problem with it because it was Harvey Keitel, and it was sort of within the character, but had nothing to do with the scene.
You think he just wanted to get one in?
No, he just wanted to smack my face. And we were shooting on the George Washington Bridge. We had like between 3 a.m. and 6.
Yeah.
We had the whole thing closed off. And it's, there's cop cars and it was a big stunt and blah, blah, blah. And we were trying, you're like, there was no setups. We were like, do the scene, do it over. And you just shoot it until you get it. And at one point during the thing, I'm sort of deferring. My character deferred to him. And at one point, somehow I wound up in front of the camera. And he was like, I didn't hear him. There was loud noises because we were on the bottom or the top of it. He was this fucking nut house. And he smacked the shit out of me. And I was just like stunned because I was like, Harvey Keitel just smacked me. He was like, you're in front of the fucking camera. Move out of the way. And I was like, and then it kind of revved up the scene because I was like, no, whatever his character was. And I was like deferring to him. And so...
There was a whole like 30-year era of actors slapping other actors to get better performances than them. Because I was reading the Vanity Fair thing about Meryl Streep.
Oh, right.
And Hoffman like just swatted her during one of their first scenes together.
Did she? I didn't read that
If it
yet.
happened now, it would cause like a 4-month internet riot.
Oh, it'd be an
Can
internet.
you imagine Dustin
lawsuits.
Hoffman hit Meryl Streep
Right.
during a scene?
Can you
Back
imagine
then
that?
it was like, oh yeah, he got her to another point in
Right.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Right. I don't think I think I was at the point that I needed to be at. I don't think he was going for anything for me. And it wasn't anything with, and Harvey's like Uncle Harvey to me. He's so nice. Jewish. And I've had coffee with him. He's cool. Harvey's cool. He's a tough guy. Like he's not the life of the party, but very nice, very caring about younger actors. Will answer questions and I've had like sit downs with him.
Very unafraid to get naked in movies.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He will drop that dong, man.
Unfold
will come
the loaf.
right out. He really will.
Unfold
multiple
the
male nude scenes.
He don't give a shit.
No.
He brings the dick, the cock and balls. I mean, Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah.
The scene where that wasn't written.
He had lived the whole masturbation scene.
One of the best lines ever. He says to the girl, he pulls over, have you ever sucked a cock?
Right.
The great line. Not written. I mean, these are the kinds of things you can't write. Abel Ferrara, who's actually now sober with a child. And if you knew Abel in the 90s, and he'd be the first one to tell you, the fact that Abel Ferrara, God bless him, sweetheart, is sober with a child. When I heard that he was doing good, I was just like, I couldn't believe it because he was out there. He was way out there. Like, he brought the 70s into the 90s.
He kept the 70s alive.
Yo, he kept it alive. He brought the fun and the funk, to all his movies. But he's doing well. So, that. And he's an underrated director, Abel.
Copland has a lot of people in it.
Big stars.
I feel like... I was thinking about it because it's a good movie.
Yes.
And it's a great Sly performance.
Yes.
And it's kind of like the same Sly that was in Creed. It was kind of that version of the stripped down, mellow, no shtick Sly.
Yes.
But as I was watching, I hadn't seen it in a long time. And I forgot. I was like, oh my God, there's Peter Berg.
Right.
And there's like 15 of those. And it's like, oh yeah, here's De Niro, like in basically a cameo. He's in like 4 scenes.
Right.
And here's like Ray Liotta. Like, is it Liotta or Leota? Leota.
I'll let you say.
Well, it's one of those. Like, it seems to people pronounce it both ways, but
I
it
got
is
to tell you,
Leota.
I've never heard anyone say Liotta.
Leota. But you have him in like as the successor to the totally coked up Goodfellas character. It's like that guy kind of got out of jail and now is in Copland as a cop.
Right. Right.
I love coked up Ray Liotta.
It's nothing better than coked
Nothing
up.
better. And it should just be a Netflix show. It's just called Coked Up Ray Liotta.
Let him be coked up in every movie. Like he should just be whacked out of his tree with his hair. His face lends to playing.
Sweaty.
Yeah. And like, the eyes, they're dilated when he's not coked up. So did you have you spoken on how many, first of all, how many podcasts do you have? I see you got like, I know you noticed this. There was like Bill Simmons was at the top in like 6 categories. There's channel this, there's 33. How many podcasts do you have?
We're launching a whole network. We just launched Ringer, the NFL pod, and the Ringer NFL show.
Right.
Actually, the NFL show, NBA show. So we launched 2.
Right.
We're launching Keeping It 1600 this week as its own feed.
Okay.
We have the Channel 33 as its own feed. We have the Shack House Golf Podcast as its own feed, and then mine. So we have, I think we're up to 6 or 7. 7.
And I don't even know which one we're on now. Where am I? I don't know what the fuck is what, man. What podcast am I on here?
You're on mine.
No, but is it the Bill Simmons or is it the Channel 33?
This is the Bill Simmons podcast.
Okay, I'm confused. I am confused.
You're one of the most popular podcasts we've done. When the first time you came on, you came in hot, like right now, caffeinated. And people loved it. And I think Chris Sacca might have had the most popular pod.
Who's that?
He's this billionaire investor. People love that one.
Well, they want to kiss his ass because they think he's going to give him a handout. He ain't giving you a handout. Bill Sacca. What the fuck was he talking about?
Rich guy stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All the people
Tech.
that's listening, he's not sending you $100 in the mail. Bill Sacca. I don't even know who the fuck he is, and he ain't sending me $100 in the mail. But let me ask you a question. But two of the things. One of the things about the blowback from me being on this podcast, which I love.
You've done 2 or 3.
I think this is the 3rd time.
This is the 3rd.
Is that I have people come up to me, and I don't know how to take this, and they'll say, that was a great performance on the Bill Simmons podcast.
And I always like this.
That's what I didn't know if I should tell them that, or like I don't want to maybe they're thinking this is some sort of act. And I don't want to break the facade.
It's not an act. I've run into you just randomly at like coffee places and stuff, and you're like this all the time.
But you get me hyped up, Bill.
Well, I do, because you see me and you see somebody that can talk to you about all the things that you care about.
Right. You could articulate for instance, my thoughts.
When Sly lost the Oscar to the fucking guy from the movie that nobody saw, you reached out to me right away. I was there for you.
That was bad.
It's been a sad year for you. You had Fife. You had Sly lost the Oscar.
That was rough.
Kurt Rambis is coming back.
Oh, God. Is he coming back? Do you have an inside scoop?
No, it actually seems like David Blatt.
He's coming to the Knicks?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A Jew coach in New York City, that alone will simmer the fucking fans down a little bit. Like, they're going to appreciate that. We need to get some like bagel sponsor, H&H Bagels. There's like sponsorships. A Jew coach in New York, and I'm a Jew. I just want to make sure everybody understands that.
Yeah.
That's enormous. Red Holtzman was a Jew, but he was an old school, tough, Brooklyn street Jew.
Red Auerbach was Jewish.
Yeah, but we don't count. What did he do for us?
Some great Jewish coaches.
Great Jewish coaches. We had Run in the Mill back in the days. But then they sort of, how are you going to be a good coach if you never really did anything?
You get Israel now on your side. Israel just follows David Blatt wherever.
No, it's
now you
big.
have the whole country of Israel behind you.
But what makes you, what are we waiting for to pull the trigger? If he's going to be the coach, like the draft is getting ready to come up, when we get him settled in, get him like in a press conference, and what's the holdup?
My guess is that Phil's probably asking him questions like, look, I want you to run an offense that peaked 25 years ago.
Right. Okay.
And I don't want you to incorporate any of the new stuff that seems to be working.
Oy vey. I'm Blatt. You're Phil. Go ahead. Oy vey.
I want to have really mediocre, tall guards that aren't point guards. That are all interchangeable and aren't very good.
Yeah, and keep Sasha Vujicic just because I like him.
Yeah. Keep guys I've won championships with from previous decades.
Yeah, they bring in a lot.
Yeah. By the way, I think you're Evan Turner waiting to happen.
He's going to come?
He's very triangle-y. I could see Phil and by the way, I like Evan Turner, even though he no-showed our biggest game of the season. I think he'd be good in the triangle. I think he'd be good for the Knicks.
Well, listen, we're so fucked, and I'm so up. I'm hopped up on bee pollen, coffee, and right now, I don't want to start things off with the Knicks. I mean,
let's not talk about
it.
It
Hurts. It hurts, and you have it's just gray skies. It's just gray skies.
But you're good now. You have all your picks going forward.
Right, none.
And you have cap space. No,
Well,
you
what
have
picks?
17 and 8. After this draft, you have your picks again.
After this draft.
Yeah, after this draft. This is it. This is the last draft you have to sit out unless they start trading more picks.
Yeah, but you see, is that like a fucking joke? We're not even showing. Dude, do the Knicks have a representative that goes to the draft? Like, is it a formality? Like, someone must go and sit there and just pound their head against the wall? Like, we have nothing. We fucked up. We're going to come back next year with nothing. And Evan Turner's the answer. Evan Turner's our shining star. Like, we're going to look forward to that next year.
I think there's Carmelo possibilities.
To what? Trade him to the Celtics?
Would you trade him for Blake? Oh, your body sagged. Yeah, you talked
Who's
yourself
throw
into
him
it.
the alley-oops? Evan Turner?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if Blake is built for the New York media, especially after what happened this year.
I'm not sure. It's a very good point. Let's talk playoffs.
Okay, I want to talk playoffs, and then I just wanted to...
You can bring it back to your weird subjects at the end.
Okay. Remind me, because I wanted to talk about Prince. I wanted to ask you about Prince. Oh. And I wanted to ask you...
Let's do that now.
Fine. Have you spoken about Prince? I'm sure you had to have mentioned it, and have you acknowledged him as the world-class coxman that he was? Because we could sit here and talk about the musicality and the talent for days. That's stating the obvious. We've all listened to all the Prince stuff, and it saddened everybody. Everybody loves Prince. But have we talked about when we talk about stickmen and world-class stickmen,
like Burgess Meredith, you go to that level. Yeah.
You got to look at it. He's in the top 5.
Right.
Longevity, quality, quantity.
Lack of information that got out. Nobody knew what Prince was up to.
Nobody knew, but when you saw him, he was always with a dime piece. No matter what, he was never like Morris Day. He wasn't hanging out with Morris Day. If he showed up to the Warriors game, he had a bone crusher right next to him. And then sometimes he would sort of like, you wouldn't hear anything about him, but other men, you knew quietly that if he wanted to dip his toe back in the water at any time, he could unfold the purple loaf whenever he wanted to. He laid that purple pipe for years, from 79. That first record came out through the 80s, through the 90s.
I think in Minneapolis in like the 7th grade, it probably started.
Laying pipe with the afro and everything. And I mean, a world-renowned stickman. Quality. And on the low to stealth when he wanted to. And then he would get randoms. Like, there'd be like the Sheila E's and like, the Wendy Elise's. And all, Apollonia. But then you'd see like all those girls that would be like, and then he got to the point where I don't even think he wanted to have sex with them. I think he just was like confusing them. Like, you're just around me. You don't know what's going on.
It was like he was collecting them. Like I collect uncut sheets.
Like you collect vintage
weird posters. Yeah. That's what it was. So 2 things with Prince. Once, I don't think anyone ever did a better job of having more sex without an A-list celebrity, of having more sex without anyone ever knowing what he was up to. He was just Clooney in Lake Como or whatever the hell he lives in Italy, I'm sure was doing some underground stuff, but Prince just for decades. That's 1. 2, and this is what nobody mentioned. Prince was really short.
5'5"?
I think he was like 5'3". I mean, maybe 5'4". I think he was like Muggsy Bogues.
Holy shit.
Name me another short guy that got laid more often by a more quality woman than Prince. It's never happened.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's the world's premier short stick man.
Without a doubt.
I don't even know who his competition is.
Without a doubt. I mean, he's a gold standard coxman. Right. Gold standard. And the fact that he doesn't have a will and all that stuff, it's just sad. But I just wanted to just acknowledge that, because everybody's talking about the music, and of course we got to talk about the music and the talent. That's the obvious, though. The other stuff is, like the fact that he laid it down since 79.
What I was shocked by was how many young people were affected by Prince dying, because I always felt like Prince was like our generation, and I knew younger generations liked him, but I didn't know like people. I mean, you had like 25-year-olds writing like really thoughtful think pieces
Nah, they
about
latch
Prince.
on to everything. It's the hipsters, the hipster.
But
fucks.
what I was saying was like.
They latch on to anything.
We were there for Purple Rain, and that was one of a kind. Not to sound like the old guys on the couch, but like when Purple Rain came out, it was like my head almost exploded. I've never been to a movie like that.
Incredible.
It was like, it starts out with the "Let's Go Crazy" and just all the way through, and Apollonia's boobs are coming out, and it was like, what? What is this? Is it a music video? Is it a movie? What is this?
And then the fact that you went to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
And he was already a ginormous star. It's just a different time. You can't articulate like that movie in the theater at the time with the anticipation and already knowing that he was that dude. It was just it was an experience going to see that in the theater. As far as the young people, I mean, listen, when we first came, I mean, you didn't know what the fuck was going on. I mean, he got the most ass dressing like a woman. He was wearing, Caitlyn Jenner's nothing compared to what this guy was doing. Prince was that guy. And he grew and grew and grew and grew and grew as an artist. That's the thing. Like his skills.
It was an androgynous era.
Yes. Bowie.
And Prince really took advantage of it the most.
He did.
I remember I never was positive that he was straight until Purple Rain came out.
And even then, you didn't know.
You knew.
Well, you knew he was laying it down there, but
a straight guy would have pulled the "Purify Yourself in Lake Minnetonka" trick.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That comes from the mind of a devious straight man who wants to have loads and loads of sex.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
but he even says, is he straight or gay, whatever in the lyric. I don't know the lyric right now. I'm so whacked up. But he says straight or gay, God or whatever. I don't know. Listen.
Well, he was intentionally ambiguous to get people talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which David Bowie was like.
Absolutely. He was Lou Reed.
The one thing that people talked me into, because I always thought, I mean, I have certain hard corners I'm on, right? Like Eddie Murphy is the most talented SNL cast member ever. Like you're never talking me out of that. You're never talking me out of Michael Jordan being the best basketball player ever.
Period.
I always felt like Michael Jackson was the best pop music star ever. And I think I've been swayed toward Prince, because when you throw in all the instruments Prince could play, Michael Jackson couldn't play instruments.
No, not like that.
Prince could play like 27 instruments.
And play them. I saw him live one time perform at the Roosevelt Hotel. He was doing these concerts at like 3 a.m, which is so past anything that I had to sleep and set an alarm, but I was like, I'm going. And it was like 500 people in there. And at one point, he was literally like, I could have taken. He was going up to people and playing the guitar. And at one point, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to stretch my arms all the way. I got a 37-inch sleeve, Bill. It's a long arm. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's
almost as tall as Prince.
Yeah. It's like my arm is probably the length of him without the heels. Heels, he's got me. But he was playing with it. He came right up to me and made eye contact with me, and I was literally, I could see. Like how women would be like,
you just ready to have sex with them.
I didn't know what it was. I felt uncomfortable.
You start taking your clothes off
right there, and he made eye contact with me. And I swear to God, he knew. Like he recognized. Like he did a double take at me. He had the makeup on, and I'm like literally drooling, and I could have taken the guitar out of. And he was like, but you could feel the talent right in front of you, and that was the thing that was so impressive. You could he had that guitar. Like Steph Curry has a basketball. Like it wasn't there. Like it was just
35
breathing.
Footers.
Exactly.
Jimmy Fallon, and they had the SNL. They hastily threw together this Prince special as an SNL episode. Jimmy Fallon made a great point. He was like, there was never a time when Prince wasn't cool.
Never.
And I don't remember another celebrity like that. I mean, even Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever,
one of the worst
had
dressers.
moments where he wasn't cool.
His whole retirement.
Terrible dresser, his retirement. He played baseball. He had 200. How about the last 10 years running Charlotte, the crying MJ meme?
How about the fact that
Prince never had moments like that?
Well, Bill, how about the fact that he's the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and he let a basketball team that he owns go out and play in the playoffs with a jersey that says Buzz City? How about the fact that he went out there in a must-win game when his point guard has a fucking man bun, Jeremy Lin, and a jersey that says Buzz City. Talk about not being cool. Talk about not being in touch with this. Well, you think Michael Jordan would play with a short sleeve jersey that says Buzz City?
Nah.
And Jeremy Lin, I don't know if he's trying to get on an episode of Girls, but to play, and I was there with you, Jeremy Lin. I fuck with you. I fuck with you during the Linsanity. I met you at the All-Star game with my kids that year. You were super nice. I've been riding with you through the whole thing. I'm a fan.
Man, bud, not a fan.
My man. Take that shit out. No. And the fact that Jordan sat there and thought it was okay, she should be like, no, send them back to the locker room. They're not playing in a jersey. It's a must-win game.
Yeah, Jordan made Brad Sellers cry. He punched Steve Kerr in the face during a scrimmage.
Right.
Did some mean stuff. That Jordan needs to come back.
A little bit. He's starting to lose weight. He's taken off those. He has the worst style ever. And I'm not a fashion icon.
Yeah.
But I could tell, like he needs a fucking makeover.
Did you see when he hugged Scotty? In the luxury suite?
Yes. What about it?
That was awesome.
That was great.
I love seeing those two guys. It was genuine love of the guys who have won 6 titles together.
6.
Because Scotty sometimes will be a dick about how good Jordan was. There'll be these random. It's almost like he's trying to get attention, and he's wounded by something about his relationship with Jordan. He was like, well, I don't know if Michael was the greatest player ever. Or I think LeBron's the. And he'll just throw this stuff out. They feel like little intentional daggers to get MJ's.
Yeah, you didn't return my text.
It's like when you talk about Harvey Keitel sometimes.
Yeah, maybe Jordan smacked him around. His first couple of years, he probably
smacked him on the GW bridge.
Why? And what do you think about this? Well, first of all, your guy, Bill Russell. Now listen, Bill Russell.
Be careful.
Bill
Russell's sacred in this new
I got you. I want to ask you about
office.
this. I want to ask you about this. How do you feel that he makes public appearance and he comes out looking like a homeless person?
Well, he's 80.
So he doesn't have
old guy fashion.
Somebody can't groom him before he comes in. I mean, you're in a public thing. You're sitting courtside. This is your guy. Somebody at the Celtics can't say, listen, you're going to be on TV. You look like you just rolled out of a methadone clinic. Shave him down. And I mean,
we're going to be like that when we're 75.
Yeah, but I'm not Bill Russell.
I think you pass a point where you're just like, fuck it. I'm going to go out wearing these pants that I wore the last 17 days in a row.
But forget the pants. I understand that you want to be comfort. Forget the weird sort of Birkenstocky things. I'm talking about groomed. Groom this man. He's an old man. Okay.
All right, hold on.
So I can't throw that at him, but can I throw this at you?
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, don't look away from me. Stay eye contact here.
I'm about to talk about my friends at MailChimp.
I want to ask you this one question before you get to this, and you're going to want a breath after this. Okay. Don't look away. Is Tom Brady a cheating fuck or not? I'm looking at you in the eye. Is he a cheating fuck or not?
I genuinely think that he's not.
You guys from Boston are something else.
I think he told the guys, I like the footballs a little late.
You guys are something else, man.
You think he did deflated the balls?
You Boston guys are tough, man.
You think these guys are in the bathroom deflating balls by 1/10 of a pound?
He shamed Carl Yastrzemski, Larry Bird, Bobby Brown, and all the new addition with that bullshit. Shame on Boston. Shame on you guys.
Oh, stop it.
Come on, man.
You go in New York on me. Quick break to talk about our friends at MailChimp.
I love them.
Less than 2 months ago, we launched our new newsletter for The Ringer. It's been a big success. We have over 200,000 subscribers, and it's been a great place to showcase our writers. For instance, today's newsletter featured The Ringer debuts of Katie Baker, Sam Donsky, and Justin Charity. Best of all, the newsletter is free. It looks cool. And if you're just getting started like we were, or if you're building a growing business like we are, MailChimp makes it super easy to connect with customers, sell more stuff, free to get started, no expiring trial, no credit card required. Thanks to MailChimp for helping us build our audience.
Fantastic.
Go to MailChimp.com, check out everything they have to offer. Go to TheRinger.com to subscribe to our newsletter. And by the way, we're going to have Ringer swag soon.
Yo, can I get a sweatshirt, a t-shirt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Comfortable stuff?
Like baseball shirts, t-shirts,
okay.
hoodies, sweatshirts.
Soft? Because the Iron Rapaport podcast, we pride ourselves on soft-ass t-shirts.
Yeah. We'll have all that stuff.
Okay.
Stuff that for guys in their 40s and won't cling to them too much.
Right.
You know, like these
I know
kind
exactly.
of Euro t-shirts now that guys wear because they go to the gym 7 days a week. Yeah. We have everybody's back covered.
Okay, cool.
So thanks to MailChimp, and if you subscribe to the newsletter when we make those things available, you'll be able to buy
I'm looking forward to
playoffs.
Yo, break it down, Bill.
Can we talk about, would you want to be LeBron's teammate?
No. I wouldn't want to be LeBron's teammate.
What would happen if the first time he subtweeted you about, like, Like what he did with Kyrie that time when he did that whole subtweet about how Chris Paul was so great because he's a point guard who gets other teammates involved.
Right.
And it was clearly directed at Kyrie.
Yeah, but then it wasn't.
But then he was like, no, I just was trying to just randomly praise this guy on another team for no real reason at all.
Yeah, because that's normal.
Yeah, because people do that.
Yeah, because during the season, you're supposed to praise other guys on other teams, and you're supposed to go work out with somebody who you're probably going to play in the Eastern Conference
That was
Finals.
weird, too.
That's normal.
That's
normal. And it's normal. Yeah, it's all normal. And it's normal to unfollow your team, and then when asked about it, look like you're like someone stepped on your toe and you're offended by it. Like Bill, if I stopped following you on Twitter and I came in here,
My feelings would be so hurt.
you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Right? You'd be like, "What the fuck?" Rap's not following me on Twitter. Like you would lose a little bit of sleep. I'm not saying you wouldn't sleep in that, but you'd toss it. You'd ask your wife, Rapaport.
I think he's mad at me.
Well, what did I do? And then when you ask me about it, I'm gonna be like, "No, I stopped following you." I mean, what is all that shit?
I don't know. LeBron, here's my new theory that I came up with. LeBron, only child, center of attention really at all times in the NBA for really, first he's the prodigy, he's coming up.
Yep.
All the way through
The
Cleveland.
chosen one.
2 MVPs, leaves Cleveland, the decision, goes to Miami, center of attention, 4 years there, 4 finals, goes to Cleveland.
The land.
Center of attention again. I'm coming back. I'm bringing Cleveland a title. Now this year, not center of attention.
Not center of attention.
He has the Warriors blow him out of the water. Kobe's interminably long, insufferable farewell tour blew him out of the water.
Blew him out of the water.
And I think LeBron, for the first time, people are like, oh, yeah, whatever. LeBron's over there. He's not quite as good as he used to be. Curry's better. It's the Warriors league now. I think it drove him a little batty.
I think so, too.
It's almost like an actress who the other, getting a little older. The other actors are in their corner. All of a sudden, they have like the big upper lip.
Yep.
Just the silicone injection.
I call
in
it the
lip.
Meg Ryan.
The Meg Ryan. It's like
that was disturbing. Meg Ryan never was not cute until she got the upper lip
Meg Ryan would be
fixed.
cute right now.
Meg Ryan, you're Meg Ryan. I don't know who or what is. I don't know what kind of dude is making you feel insecure. But if you want somebody to make you feel right, you just come on over to me. I'll meet you at Larchmont, and we'll fix that lip. Okay. Because that was the beginning of the end of her career.
Well, I think like Sandra Bullock made 2 rom-coms. Meg Ryan got threatened. All of a sudden, silicone in the upper lip.
She
and I
didn't
think
need
that's what LeBron was like with some of his behavior this season. I just feel like he feels it. Maybe the seeds of it slipping away a little bit, and he started acting weird.
Do you think you said you think he's not as good as he used to be?
No, I think he's as good. I think there were moments in the
consistency. He can't do it. Sustain.
He can still get to the same spot. His jump shot's not as good as he used to be.
Yeah,
that's the one
true.
thing But I mean, I've never seen anything like this though. For just 13 straight years
sick.
of a ridiculously high level of basketball. Like we were growing up, Kareem was like this. Kareem was 13, 14 straight years.
But it was slow
just
motion
great.
though. Like,
yeah,
it was more of a different style. The fact that he's doing with such physicality. And the speed and the strength still. That's the thing that's crazy.
He gets the rebound.
Flying.
And he's going down with 3 minutes left, tie game, and you're like, LeBron's either getting a layup or he's getting fouled.
It's incredible.
He still has that, which is the single most important skill that he has right now. And he's still a great passer.
Still a great passer.
Great athlete.
Incredible. And,
indestructible, never gets hurt.
Never gets hurt. I find that very weird. How do you never, ever get hurt?
Blessed.
What kind of vitamins does he take?
A lot of those Flintstone vitamins.
But I would love to know the vitamin pack because everybody who's ever played professional basketball has suffered some injury. And last year, the beginning of the season, he looked a little slow, and you're like, maybe LeBron has lost it. Then he took 2 weeks off. He came back, he gained 25 pounds, and he was back to normal. He
gained 25 pounds.
No, because remember in the offseason, they were all vegetarian and they were juicing,
right.
And then he took the 2 weeks off, and
again.
then boom. I just would love to know, like his diet plan. Is it a diet plan that I want to be on that diet? Because, I tweaked my ankle coming into your studio. Okay.
Well, you need luck. Like Curry slips on the floor. Anyone who slips on that spot on the floor hurts their knee. I even think LeBron doesn't survive that.
I get that. I'm just saying he's blessed, and he's the chosen one, and he's never been injured, and that proves that he actually is the chosen one. If you had to pick right now, I think I asked you this before, one player going into next season right now, just based on what you know right now, who would be your first pick right now? You could get anybody in the league.
For next season, I'm trying to win the title. It's just one season?
Just for one season right now, who would you pick?
I'd probably pick LeBron.
Me too.
Just because I think he's a safer health risk. Tate, who would you pick?
He's indestructible.
You pick Curry?
3's more than 2.
I'd go with LeBron.
I'm not 100% sure I'm getting Curry for 8 months straight. That would be my one fear. I think Curry's slightly better. I think he has a better effect on his teammates, and he's more representative of where the league is going.
Yes.
But LeBron, I know I'm getting 8 months.
Yeah, he's
at a very high level.
Yeah, he doesn't get injured. He's just sick. I went to the Garden in March, and I wanted to heckle the fucking shit out of him. I was right on the side of the court. I was with my son, and I knew he's like, but at one point he went to the bathroom. And I was like, now's my time. Yeah. And I was like, bust his ass, Carmelo. Da-da-da-da-da, Carmelo. And LeBron looked back. I don't know if he recognized the face, the voice, or whatever. And, of course, nothing happened. And then what's Derek Thomas? Is that his name? On the Knicks, he's got the blonde
Lance
dips.
Thomas?
Not Lance. Is it Lance?
Derek Williams.
Derek Williams. I'm telling him, he was guarding him, take him. I'm telling this to the guy who got robbed earlier in the season from coming home from a strip club. I'm saying, take him, bust his ass. And you and your blonde tip, take him to the hole. See, it went nowhere. But if my son hadn't been there, I would. My plan was to get that warning.
What's the weirdest IMDb compliment that LeBron could have given you that would have disarmed you the most? Like if he had just come over and been like, "Hey man, I love the Ed Burns show."
Man, that would have been fine. Hey, listen, he could say whatever he wants.
But what would have LeBron?
He should have been. He should. You know what he could have did? The weirdest compliment: come over and say hello to my son. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I'm saying...
That's all I'm going to say. You see the kids, you say hello. I'm not going to say any more. You're at an all-star game in 2011. You see kids, my kids, you don't give them the fist and turn your side. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying when you see the kids, you're at an all-star game. It's a public place.
I'm saying what piece of work have you done that it would have surprised you the most that LeBron had seen and was a fan of?
If he was like, I really love beautiful girls. That would have thrown me off. LeBron never saw beautiful girls. He's dipping his toe in Hollywood, but he never saw beautiful girls. The age thing, I don't feel like it's his kind of movie.
It's a really good movie.
That would have surprised me. But if you come over and you see my kid, you give
What are we doing for the 20th anniversary?
I'm ready to go. I think that they should do... I think that movie is worthy of a remix. Now, because what was it, the 10th anniversary? Now you do where are they now? We do another one. Because I saw Matt Dillon. He hasn't aged. Matt Dillon, now you want to talk about a coxman?
Birdman.
A stickman? He had his 18th birthday at Studio 54 when Studio 54 was Studio 54.
He did?
Matt Dillon, think about it. Think about the run he's had, and he hasn't aged. I don't know what... He literally looks like Matt Dillon, from The Outsiders, still today.
And Matt Dillon's one of those that there's a whole generation of women, including my wife, who if Matt Dillon was just did the finger wave over, that's it. I'd never seen
Done.
them.
To this day.
My kids would be like, "Where's mom?"
She's
like,
gone.
Matt Dillon fingered her over.
She's gone.
That was it.
She ain't coming back. She's in Tahiti.
But he can get the younger generations too.
He's iconic. He's like a Ferrari. It's never going out of style. He's Matt Dillon.
So you saw it on the Beautiful Girl set.
Oh my God. But it wasn't the set. He doesn't deal with set people. He doesn't mess around with actors.
Doesn't deal with other actors?
Yeah, no, I mean actresses.
That's
not his thing. It's the hot cocktail lady at the restaurant in Minnesota.
Right.
And it's anything anything in his perimeter, in his sight, and it's just boom. And it literally is the finger thing. He'll shut it down with a finger thing. He's got power. Matt Dillon, great stick man. Excellent stick man, low key and very humble about it. Very quiet, very literally a guy who could sneak in, kill Bin Laden, get out, and he's that type of shit. Great.
So Matt Dillon, Burgess Meredith, and Prince are all at the same club.
All at the same club.
And who gets they all like the same girl? Who gets her? Probably Meredith.
Burgess Meredith comes in.
I think Burgess gets her.
In his day, no one could stop him. No one could stop him with the voice, the charm. No one could stop him. He was incredible.
Matt Dillon, did he even ever get married? I don't think he did.
Of course not. A great stick man like that, he will go Prince. He got married. Prince got married. Listen, Matt Dillon, consummate. Like consummate stickman.
Almost like an NBA player who just every year is on a different team. Doesn't even want to sign a 2-year deal.
Fuck the 2-year deal.
Yeah.
No,
He's
I'm
floating
1 year
around.
in and out.
I'm going to play for Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'm going to tear the city up.
So do you think the Cavaliers can win the title? Let's say Curry's 80% rest of the way, not 100%.
Yes, they can absolutely win the
I think
title.
if Curry's not 100%, I think it's open. I'm worried about San Antonio.
Do you think
I have a big bet on them at 10-1 that we made before they signed Aldridge because I just was betting on them signing Aldridge. I just thought that was going to happen. Their guards, that game 2, did you see game 2,
Yes.
Oklahoma City?
Yes.
I don't want to take too much out of it because the refs, I thought, were really favorable toward OKC. They're just letting them maul San
Yes.
Antonio. I mean, Aldridge was getting mauled, and he still had 43. Kawhi was getting just chipped and bumped and knocked on every screen. And putting that aside, did you notice Parker and Ginobili, that game was like a tiny bit too fast for them?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've noticed that with
But
those
it
guys.
happens
Where it was
with
like
them.
the speed of the game was, they couldn't kind of match it.
But the thing
That
about
worries me for them against the Warriors.
yeah, well, who do you prefer to go to the finals? Like right now, if Curry's 85%, who do you think? And if I'm a guy that wants Cleveland to lose again, I get off on
So
it.
you're saying who do I prefer if I want Cleveland to lose in the finals?
Yes.
Golden State.
Okay. Now this
I don't think
gentleman,
Cleveland could beat Golden State.
nobody could beat them.
I just don't think they have. Even you saw it in Game 1 in Atlanta. I don't understand. The best lineup for Cleveland is when they put Love at the 5 and LeBron at the 4, and they go smaller. And already Atlanta is in their head, and they're playing Thompson, Kevin Love, and LeBron together. You can't do that against Golden State.
Right. See,
I would be spending these-
This is why you got 19 podcasts, because
Thank
you
you.
know your shit, man.
Well, my whole thing is, my whole goal is to beat Golden State. I know I can get through the East. I'm not worried about Atlanta. I'm not worried about Miami. I want to use these 3 rounds leading to the finals to
improve.
master that lineup with Love and LeBron. That's the lineup that's going to beat Golden State. And so when they rely on Thompson, it's like, yeah, great, Thompson. They couldn't handle his rebounding, but it's like you're not going to be able to play him and Love against Golden State. You're going to get waxed.
because of the
You
size.
have to pick one of the two.
Right, okay.
Golden State's too fast for them.
I got you. And this guy on San Antonio, because I don't want to get too fucking basketball nerd heavy with you, okay? Because
Which guy?
Now number 40, Babone,
Oh, Boban.
Boban,
Yeah.
who looks like
Boban Liata.
they found him. They cut him out of ice somewhere, like he was frozen.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely,
Boban's going to get like $7-8 million a year in free agency this year.
as he
Probably
should,
from your team.
for the Knicks.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, they would love him in New York, but I think it would confuse him. It would confuse him. And I wanted to see, because he deserves, like everybody was like Porzingis with a nickname. He's just Porzingis. That's just the nickname. The Porzing guy. Now they have
The Zinger.
the Zinger, whatever.
The
That's
Lativian Gangbanger.
the Lativian Gangbanger.
That's the best nickname so far.
That's absolutely the best nickname. But he's trying to market himself. But they had the big fundamental, right?
Yeah.
The big Aristotle.
Yeah.
I think Boban should be called the Big Galoot.
The Big Galoot.
The Big Galoot, because he looks like a fucking. I mean, where did he come from?
Do you need a nickname when your name's Boban?
He needs something. He needs. I mean, he literally looks straight up like a caveman.
Did you notice though that there's times when he looks really fluid for a gigantic guy?
Yes.
Like he'll do like spin moves and grab rebounds and alley oops and traffic, put
Yeah.
it down, put it back up.
He's great.
Reverse
and,
layups.
And people move out of the way because the wingspan and the elbow span, it's just everything's coming at you. And I think they're frightened. They're like, what's up with your ears? They don't know what's happening with him. I'm telling you, I love him. But he's like an enigma.
Yeah, he is. I don't know where it's possible that they just created him in a lab in San
That's
Antonio.
what I'm saying. Where's he
Can't-
from? What
Can't
country?
be rule it out.
Where's he from?
Can you find out what country he's from, Tate? It's a place that
Yeah, so
it's
they
from
say.
Serbia.
So
Oh.
that's what they say for anybody that comes out looking like that.
throw them off
Yeah,
the set.
he's Serbia. He's from Serbia. We'll just say he's from Serbia. It's a safe thing. I want to see your paperwork, Boban.
So your goals for I would think your goal is for Oklahoma City to flame out in a really horrible way so that the Knicks would have a chance at Durant.
He ain't coming to New York.
Okay.
Why would he?
So the Knicks fans aren't even delusional anymore.
No.
I miss delusional Knicks fans. I miss
No.
the Knicks fans who always thought, oh, it's New York. People are going to come here.
No.
And the Knicks fans have just quit on that.
I feel like
It's over.
If you're going to come to New York, you might as well come to Brooklyn. Because they have a practice arena near the state. Like, you can live in Brooklyn. In Manhattan, you can't even enjoy living in, like, you're not going to be like $1 million player living in like Tribeca because the practice facility is in, what is it, White Plains? These things charter into it. Who is that? Answer the phone. Who is it? Is it your wife?
No, it's...
Is it Matt Dillon?
Sorry about that.
Was that Matt Dillon?
It was Matt Dillon's in it. He's
like,
with
"It's
a
over,
flight
Bill."
attendant right now.
Yeah.
He needs money.
This is like your wife said she wants. There's a certain sweatshirt she likes. Send it over.
Can I ask you a question? I threw this to Howard Beck last week, and the Knicks fans got upset. If the Knicks traded Robin Lopez to Brooklyn just to create cap space and then signed Dwight Howard, how upset would you be on a scale of 1 to 10? Like a 15? 20?
Don't bring him here. Don't. He'll be over there with Steph Marbury if he comes to New York.
You think he'd go mental?
Don't do it. He's so confused and so fragile, and nothing good will come from it if Dwight Howard comes to New York.
What team should Dwight Howard go to? What team could Dwight Howard's like?
I have no clue.
Fragile.
What team
mental-
hasn't he played for? Like, I don't know where he should go. He should hook back up with Stan Van Gundy when he comes back from his trip from Cuba. He should get together with Stan and rekindle that, because that's the best it was.
Would you be shocked if Sacramento traded Boogie and then signed Dwight Howard? Doesn't it seem like Dwight Howard's destiny is to play for Sacramento?
Yes, absolutely. That's
Feels like that's going to be a stop for
that's
him.
the dumping ground that's going to be a guy who had all the potential in the world, Dwight Howard, and that's
like
sad.
it's like the Expendables series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
not
like
Expendable
Expendables 5. It's
number
just
5,
the Kings. It's
where
with
they're just
Rondo,
like-
Dwight Howard, and Darren Williams.
Right, and
they're all
like-
on the same team. All former All-Stars.
And are the Sacramento Kings going to take Patrick Ewing out of his misery? The fact that Patrick Ewing, one of the great warriors, one of the great scowls, one of the great tough guys in NBA history, looks like Bambi on the bench for the Charlotte Hornets, a broken man. He looks like a lost dove. He's broken.
We both love Patrick Ewing.
I know he's not a people person, but we can't get
Did
him.
you ever, I feel the same way about Kareem. At no point in my life did I ever look at either of those guys, watch the way they interacted with teammates, listen to the ways they talked about basketball and all that stuff. I never thought with either of them, like, that guy would make a great coach.
I agree.
I think most former players, especially stars, make for terrible coaches.
Totally agree.
And centers especially. What's the history of a center?
Totally agree. But can he get something? Do you see he's a broken man? Do you see his eyes?
Can't the Knicks just bring him back?
Do
the
something.
Knicks fans love Patrick Ewing. Just bring him back.
Do something.
Can he be on David Blatt's team?
Why not?
He could convert.
Yes.
Convert to Judaism.
It'd be a great story if Amari Stoudemire could convert when he came here. Patrick, he doesn't even need to convert, actually. We love Pat. I just hate seeing him like that. Where's the scowl? He's busted.
He's sad. He seems sad. I agree.
He's sad, man. Like he cries and he doesn't even like a tear. Like he's doing shot charts for Frank the fucking Tank Kaminsky. That's what Patrick Ewing's resorted to doing on the bench.
one of the Zellers.
It's horrible.
Where do you see?
Imagine coaching Boogie Cousins. If you get a coaching job, do you really want to start off with Boogie Cousins?
I don't think he's on that team next year. What do you see happen with OKC? The body language doctor did not like what he saw in Game 2 from them.
Did they have a body language doctor?
No, I'm the body language.
Okay.
I'm the self-proclaimed body language doctor.
But they won though. What body language didn't you like?
Westbrook pretty much snapped in that game.
Yes.
Donovan benched him.
Yes.
He's one of the 7 best players in the league.
Yes.
It's really hard to get benched. Kobe, for all the shit he pulled over the years and all the things he did, no coach was ever like, Kobe, sit your ass down.
I think he was doing it for Westbrook's best interest.
Oh, yeah. It was almost like an intervention.
Yeah, I don't want to do it, but I don't want to see anything bad happen to you.
Yeah, you're going to get crushed on Inside the NBA after this game if I don't take you out right now.
Just take a breath, drink some Gatorade, and get your mind right.
Would it be fun to play with Russell Westbrook? I can't decide. It would be fun to play with somebody who every game was the 7th game to him.
Well, look, Cameron Payne looks like he's having a fucking ball. They're out there doing, it's like danceteria. He looks like he's having a ball out there with playing with Russell Westbrook. So, I mean, you got to ask Cameron Payne.
Instead of practicing those dance routines, he should practice his 3-point shot.
What about just practice? What about, first of all, cut your fucking hair? Is a 3-man weave or a layup line isn't enough to get you ready to play? It's got, I mean, what's going on? You're not Danny Terrio. Like, what is this? And I'm so glad that Charlie Villanueva did what he did. Like, you're not going to come out here doing this craziness. And, like, I mean, what's going on here? What's going on
I like
here?
how Durant and Westbrook were genuinely upset that he did that. It's like, it's gamesmanship, guys.
Imagine Dr. J and Moses Malone doing the fucking the hustle before Game 5. It just didn't happen.
By the way, Dr. J is furious that we left him out of all of the stickman conversations.
Well, I just do that out of respect. I know what Dr. J was doing.
Okay, good.
I know it.
It's almost another level. Like Prince looked up to Dr. J.
No doubt. I saw Dr. J at the All-Star game. What was it? It wasn't this year. It was the year before in New York City with a triple dime piece. And the thing that was so beautiful about it was at the Michael Jordan party, and it wasn't a girl that was too young. It was like a 45.
Right. He lets his women age with. Yeah.
It was like somebody, a beautiful, like Jane Kennedy in her prime, but like 40. And I was like, good for you, Doc. You deserve that. And he looked happy and he looked relaxed and everybody was walking around. And I saw actually him greet Moses Malone, the late, great Moses Malone. For some reason, the late, great Moses Malone in the party had on a rain hat and a rain jacket.
What do you mean for some reason? Of course he did.
But why? We're in the party. Like Doc, like I even think Doc said, Moses, take the fucking rain hat off. Like you're inside. But I mean, Coxman, Dr. J. I mean, he's
it's almost the terms beneath him. It belittles all his great accomplishments.
Yeah. If
he hooked up with a beat reporter. He had the tennis baby.
Of course he did. He's lucky he didn't have more.
God, if that happened now, everyone always has that conversation about things that would break Twitter if they happen now.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the most famous NBA player sleeping with somebody who covered the team and having a baby with them, who then turned out to be a great tennis player, would be way up there.
Absolutely.
That's almost a 30 for 30.
And the love and respect that they have for Doc, it never even got out of hand.
He's the best. Doc was like, when the people came through the Garden, we hated everybody, right? We just hated everyone's guts. Doc was the only one that, like, when he had his farewell thing, there was affection for him. Even after he sucker punched Bird, we still had affection for him. We didn't like run him out of Boston after that. We still kind of secretly loved the Doc.
Of course.
Kareem, it was
reluctant.
Going through the motions is a fucking understatement.
It was reluctant, right?
It was like,
were
it's
you
Kareem's
there for that?
I was.
Man.
And then in the HBO documentary about it, and it was like, and then Kareem in the Boston Garden, and they to get showered with so much respect. I was there. People were like, "Fuck, we have to pretend we like Kareem." We hated Kareem,
but you guys did it. You did the right thing.
We went through the motions.
Do you know what? One thing I find offensive. You know that they call the Euro step the Euro step.
Yeah,
like Ginobili and like James Harden. Doc Irving was doing that shit on Sundays on CBS. He invented that move, that Euro step. It should be called the Doc Irving step. Do you know what I'm saying?
Which one?
The Euro step, the boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't like Manu Ginobili and these Europeans and the Spaniards.
They just called it a travel, though.
No, Doc would go boom, boom, and then finger roll while he was going to the left with his right hand.
Oh, yeah. Well, but his hands were like the size of my entire body.
Oh.
I've never seen anybody, they would put him on the left side. I wrote about this in my book. They put him in like basically where the 3-point line is, but nobody knew what the hell it was in 1980. There was a circle that people just stared at.
It's like duct tape.
They give him the ball. Maxwell would play 7 feet off him because everyone just wanted Doc to shoot, because if he went to the basket, it was over. He would go in anyway. He would go into the paint with his hand, and then his fucking Freddy Krueger arm would come around. And even though he was 9 feet away from the basket, all of a sudden he was getting this long Freddy Krueger layup in the paint through 3 guys. Like his arm would just go through the 3 guys. And
so
spin
unique.
It.
So unique.
I've never seen anybody do that.
Nobody.
No, he's the only one.
He's the only
one.
He's
not replicable.
Absolutely not.
Most guys are replicable in some form.
He's not replicable.
He's not replicable.
And Durant's
not replicable either. I don't think we'll see another 7-footer. He's 7 feet, by the way.
I
He
think
tries
we're-
to pretend he's not, but he's 7
No,
feet.
he's 7 feet.
He's 7 feet.
He's tall.
We'll never see somebody with 3-point range with the inside-outside game like that who's basically plays like a 6'5" guy
I agree.
at 7 feet.
I don't think
nobody does that.
I don't think that we'll never. I think it's going to be more of the norm. I think it's going to be
Well,
more.
people are comparing Brandon Ingram to him. Tate's gonna get mad, but Tate hates Duke.
Oh, okay.
But Brandon Ingram, like, I watched Durant in college. I have copious amounts of words written about it. I was like, this guy is like once in a generation.
Yes.
We're never gonna see this again.
Yes.
And I still don't think we're gonna see it again. Maybe
I think maybe because I just think it's the evolution of man. I think like that's going to be sort
7 foot.
of like guys who could handle the ball and move around like that.
But he's one of like the.
I'm not saying it's happening
like
next
Dirk's
week.
another one. Dirk,
Yes.
I don't think we see Dirk again.
Well, no,
I don't think we see Hakeem again.
no. You
The
never
6'10" soccer player is not happening
No,
again. Who
no.
just took up basketball at age 16 and immediately became.
No, you're never going to
That's
see that.
never
again.
happening again.
Never.
But like we'll see like Blake Griffin again, and we'll see a lot of these
or
guys.
we might
again.
not see Blake Griffin again. But is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Hold on, quick break to talk about Squarespace.com.
Love Squarespace.com.
One of our signature sponsors.
Yo.
You dabble in a little
I dabble
Squarespace.
in a little Squarespace.
How long
and
have
if
you
I
been
could
using
do
Squarespace?
about a year, and if I could do it, anybody could do it.
Right. Well, whether it's a business site, a personal site, a portfolio, a restaurant, a retail site, whatever else, these days, as you know, Michael Rapaport,
Yes.
there's a ton of pressure to represent yourself
Yes.
in a way that looks good. And if you go to Michael Rapaport's site on Squarespace,
Yep.
it looks good.
Looks good. And if I could do it, trust me, I did it myself.
What's the URL? I am Rapaport?
Michael Rapaport. No, yes, I am Rapaport.com.
.com. Our friends at Squarespace are here to help. They build gorgeous websites for people like us, normal people, semi-normal. We're semi-normal people.
Semi-normal, but
who
not
don't know
good.
what they're doing.
You don't have to be a tech engineer.
No.
I ain't no Steve Jobs.
Now, Squarespace makes it easy regardless of skill level, no coding needed, easy to use tools, state-of-the-art technology, 24/7 support, and a beautiful website for only $8 a month. You even get a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year. Why wait? Start with, you can start a trial, no credit card required. Go to squarespace.com, use the offer code BS for 10% off your first purchase.
10% off,
Yeah,
man. It's already a good
that's
deal.
nice. So
Let me throw
what
some questions at you,
we,
okay,
we
Mr.
have
Simmons?
like 8-9 minutes left.
We'll
Are we
say
done
so.
talking about the NBA playoffs? Because I gotta go.
Okay,
This is an
okay.
hour-long podcast.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What's going on with any given Wednesday? Give the people. Let me be the interviewer here, okay? Because I do
Can't
some
talk about it yet.
Okay, but give me something
I
around
can't do
about.
press about it yet.
Okay, all right. Let me
Wednesday,
ask you this.
it launches Wednesday,
When does my
June
contract
22nd.
come through? Like, what's my hourly rate, and like, when are we working that out? I'm just gonna put that out there right
We
now.
have to figure out. One of the things in the show is we're going to team people together to talk about stuff
Okay.
that makes sense why they would be together.
Got it. That's all you could say.
Well, no, it's just one segment on the show. And
Isn't this fucking show premiering next week?
No, so we got 8 weeks.
Okay.
We have to figure out who would be the perfect person for me, you, and blank to do 10 minutes on blank.
Got you.
And who that is, like Prince would have been great. We could have had a whole Prince conversation with some fun third person.
Yeah.
Probably who just would have been laughing and afraid to say anything the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense. And it's any given Wednesday,
Any
and it's
given Wednesday.
live.
No, it's not live.
It's not live.
Taped.
But it comes on. It's gonna air on any given Wednesday,
It's going to air on Wednesdays.
and then
I
they're
have to
gonna
do
repeat
20
the
this
shit out
year.
of it.
Yeah, and we're going to do, there's going to be some extra stuff for HBO Now.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Everything's online.
I love HBO Now.
HBO Now is good.
It's fun. It's like a little playground for us.
Yeah, that's fun because
So
you
we'll
can
have some-
you get wacky on HBO Now.
So one of the fun things is, let's say, who would be fun for us to hang out with to do something with? Think of somebody.
man.
Me, you, and blank. Who would be fun?
Fuck, man. There's so. I mean, in basketball or like.
Just anyone. How about me, you, and Ray Liotta?
Oh, that would be good. Listen, Ray's a great actor. I'm not going to say he might not make the best segment in your first
Okay,
couple of shows.
what actor would be a great segment?
Man, I got to think about that, man. We try to get De Niro to laugh. I get De Niro going. We could get him. Get
You mean
him.
De Niro? What
You
would we
get De
talk
Niro.
about, though?
We get it. We talk about it all. What won't we talk about?
All right.
What won't we talk? We get Stallone.
Oh, all right. So me, you, and Sly.
Holy shit.
So we go for like an hour.
Oh.
But during that hour, we'll carve out like 2 different 12-minute segments, and it's gonna be you, me, and Sloan talking about blank. And
Yes.
that will be on the show, and the rest of it will be on HBO Now.
Rest assured that if I get Stallone with you, I will be doing lines from Rocky 1, 2, and 3 with him, and I will be doing his lines, and he will
Do you
be
think?
doing
Do you
for
think?
sure. Guarantee
Can I be
it.
in it? I'd like to also do lines.
You be Paulie.
No, we do 3-man. It'd be Paulie.
You do Paulie. You know, I don't sweat you. You know.
I really want to find out from him how shocked and disappointed he was when they were like, and the supporting actor goes to
the guy from
Mark.
the movie. It's not
that
even
guy,
Mark Ruffalo.
Not Mark Ruffalo, the other Mark.
Not the other 7
From
guys.
the movie, only 19 people
He was
saw.
shocked. And he probably, because he's a classy guy, he'd probably say he wasn't shocked. He was shocked, as he should have been shocked. And the one thing about it, that was Stallone's night. It was his year. He deserves it. The Oscars are not fact-based. They are not, you know, they're you know, this whole thing about the race, and it just goes to show how fucking weird and off the Oscars are. The fact that the Stallone didn't win this year, why are you protesting this show? This show's a joke.
Well, and especially after.
But I'll be happy to get one. I'm just going to say that right now. I'd be happy to get one. It's a joke until I get one. Then it'd be great.
It was this whole thing about how the Oscars don't account for black people really at all.
Yeah.
And then here's Creed, directed by a black person,
Yes,
starring
sir.
a black person, and with Sly Stallone, who's the only representative of the movie eligible for anything. It would have been nice if he won. At least he could have thanked
The director.
the black director and the black star of the movie,
Yes.
and maybe that would have been a nice moment. But no,
No.
it went to some dude I never heard
And
of.
a
in
good
the movie.
actor from the movie,
Good
the
actor.
Spielberg movie. I don't want to get, you know, it's not, but it just goes to show that it's a subjective thing. It's not on point.
I'm a huge Mark Ruffalo fan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have liked it if he won either.
Me neither. I listen, no disrespect to Spotlight.
knew!
They knew.
They knew Robbie.
Yes, they knew. But that movie,
That scene, I know it was too Oscar sceney.
so many great actors in that movie. Great subject matter. Boston.
Who would you have wanted to play in that movie?
Who knows? Who knows?
We wouldn't have let you in that movie.
No, of course
You would
not.
have mangled the Boston accent.
Yeah, I would have destroyed it.
Even in Beautiful Girls, you didn't even try to have a Boston
They
accent.
told us, fuck it. With me and Matt Dillon doing Boston accents.
You're like in Western Massachusetts with a New York accent.
That's why they said we're just going to make it to any town USA. In the beginning, because no one does the accent in the movie.
Well, a couple of them do.
Who?
The guy with the mustache had one.
Max Perlich?
Yeah, he
no,
had
it's just
one.
he's stoned out. That's called stoned out of your tree accent. If you watch it closely, his accent changed, like, you know, throughout the takes.
So
Like,
one thing I want to do, because HBO Now, they've been very nice to me.
yes.
I want to show Beautiful Girls, and I want to have. I want to do it with it's Beautiful Girls, but it's us doing the director's commentary.
Let's do it.
We can do that, right?
We'll put done. You've been talking about this for years.
No,
This-
but do it so we'll actually have this on HBO Now. We'll do the director's commentary for
we'll
Beautiful
put the
Girls.
invitation out to Natalie Portman. She's not even going to respond.
She won't do it.
She won't. She's going to be like, listen, rap. She'll say rap. I'm not fucking doing it.
Matt Dillon might do it though.
Matt's not doing it either. He's going to be banging your wife. He's not coming. I'm sorry, Bill. He ain't showing up for that. There's probably a couple other people that we could, you know, get together, but you know, I think you and me can handle it. We could get Max Perlich, you know, get him a bag of some, you know, ooh-wee. He'll be good. Tim Hutton, we could probably get him to do it. Martha Plimpton would be fun. Rosie O'Donnell,
It
she's
sounds
not.
like it's just me and you.
Yeah, it's gonna be. If we
It'll be
really want to
fine.
get it done, I say we just, you know, we say we're doing it at this date. You could show up and leave their names at the gate, and that's as far as it's gonna go.
We'll invite Matt Dillon, but then we'll have. I'll hire some supermodel assistant to pick him up and walk him from the car to where
She
our
won't make it
studio
to
is.
the. Yeah, no, she won't make it to
Let's figure out
the.
when
No,
I'm
she ain't gonna make it. Matty D's gonna knock her down. She ain't. You're gonna have to find a new assistant. She ain't coming back, and Matt Dillon ain't coming for the voiceover for Beautiful Girls. I promise. I know he's. If Matt Dillon hears this, he's gonna be so like embarrassed and confused why I'm saying this. And I said this to him before. He's always like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, it's envy. I envy you. Like, I envy your fuck style, Matt Dillon. Like, you're incredible. Matt Dillon, you forget about how iconic and
And
how
he was like when he was 15, he was the heartthrob.
the guy.
Remember My Bodyguard?
Forget that. Remember the summer
Tex,
camp?
Outsiders. Oh, the Christy McNichol movie.
Yeah, and remember the other one?
Oh yeah, so you're going like way back.
He was with McNichol, but there was a really good movie. It was a dark movie. It was almost like the movie Kids, but in the 70s. Come on, pull it up. I don't fact check. We don't fact check. You know, what is it? It's this first movie. Come on.
Well, he also had The Outsiders.
This is before that. It's all druggies in Arizona, and they burn the high school down.
What?
Over the Edge. Have you ever seen Over the Edge? That's a dark twisted movie. They're all. It's like
I can't believe you compared it to Kids. That's the
No.
most dark, twisted movie
watch
that's
it
like
and
ever
you'll
happened.
see it's out there. It's out there. But what was the movie with Christy McNichol? The summer camp, Little Darlings. He was
Little
knocking them down
Darlings.
at summer camp. Like they kayaked over there. To
Little
him.
Rumblefish,
Rumblefish.
Flamingo Kid.
Forget that.
That's when it was like
Flamingo
it was
Kid is
on
one of my
after Flamingo
favorites.
Kid.
That's a really, 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 and he was excellent in that movie. Totally taken for granted. I don't like how Hollywood. He should be starring in films still.
Yes or no on him in Singles?
Matt Dillon's never been bad. Drugstore Cowboy, taken for granted. Hollywood takes him for granted. It's bullshit.
What was the Wild Things?
Wild Things.
There's something about Mary. He was great.
Great. He
I
could
agree.
do comedy.
Yeah.
He could do drama. I take it for granted.
He doesn't do TV ever.
He dipped his toe into that M. Night Shyamalama Dingy Dong thing last year. He did that miniseries, Shyamalama Dingy Dong. You know
M.
M.
Night?
Night Shyamalama Dingy Dong?
You'll take M. Night's checks.
Why not? Why not?
We have to go.
All right.
Make a prediction for the finals for me.
Golden State beats Cleveland in 6.
Make a Knicks prediction for me.
Predictions? Pain.
Okay.
To quote the great Mr. T.
Thanks.
Well, who do I got to bang to get you on the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast to give you the proper interview? I know you're the David Letterman of podcast, but there's questions that people want to ask. They want to know. They want to pick your brain. Who do I got to bang? Like your assistant? I'm a taken. I can't do that. I can't do that. But I'm just saying, like, who do I got to send Matt Dillon over to bang?
Okay. We'll talk. We'll talk off air. Thanks to MailChimp.com for helping The Ringer build its pre-launch audience by producing our splendid newsletter. MailChimp makes it super easy to connect with your customers and sell more stuff. It's free to get started, no expiring trial, no credit card required. Just go to MailChimp.com. Don't forget about Squarespace either. You can check out Michael Rapaport's site that he made, IamRapaport.com. Thanks to the Ringer Podcast Network for sponsoring today's show. Don't forget to subscribe to our new free podcast, The Ringer NBA Show and The Ringer NFL Show. Just go to the top of the iTunes charts. You'll see both of them staring happily at you. And thanks to HBO Now for teaming up with us for After the Thrones with Chris Ryan and Andy Greenwald. Start streaming in the wee hours on Sunday night after the West Coast version of Game of Thrones. You can also listen to them on their podcast, The Watch. That's all for today. We'll have one more pod come this week. Thank you, Michael Rapaport.
Bill,
that was fun. Let's do this more often.
Listen.
Think about your third guest for my TV show. Me, you, and
Sly.
guest X.
I threw some Sly we could get. We
can get Sly?
I think we can make a good pitch for him. I think we'll make him feel like the way he's Sly. And you know that'd be the best thing because I don't think he as popular as your podcast is. I have a feeling Sly doesn't listen. And if the biggest thing, and we'd have to get a close up, if I remind him when he told me that Burgess Meredith was a great stickman. If I threw that him on air, that would be, you talk about viral shit because everything needs to go viral. His face would be like, oh, how'd you know? He would forget. How'd you know that? And I'd be like, you told me. He'd be like, because he doesn't remember like that exchange. To me, it was like a great moment in my life. To him,
maybe I'll go to Hollywood Boulevard and we'll give him the Best Supporting Actor Oscar. Or I'll buy one on eBay. We'll just give it to him.
No. They fucked him, and we're gonna take it like a man. And the people knew. It's like the great line from Raging Bull. The judges didn't know. Who knows what happened with them? The people knew. That's it. He should have won, and that's it. Doesn't matter. Now he's almost like he's Rocky again. How he's got something to prove. He doesn't want to be just another bum from the neighborhood.
Do you think Carl Weathers and Sly really punched each other at the end of Rocky 3? I was watching it the other day, and I don't know how they faked it. They didn't have CGI back then.
I think they did.
I think they really connected on those punches.
Yes, I do. You mean the last image?
They freeze it, and then it becomes the Leroy Neiman poster,
Yes.
but I was looking at it, I freeze framed it, I'm staring at it, and I just think both connected.
You're as sick as me with the Rocky stuff because I've thought about that so much.
I am.
I wonder if
when Duke died in real life, that another tragic loss.
The fact that Duke died, and
literally a part of me died too.
Yeah. Yes.
And there was no other one. It was just Duke.
Let it go.
Yeah.
You're the champ. I saw that man come at you like no other man before.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Duke. Oh, that was Rocky 2.
Rocky 2.
I also
Tony
really appreciated that Duke forgave Rocky for really getting Creed killed.
Yes. And he wanted to bring it back and help him out.
He stood there with a towel for an extra 15 seconds and 7 more punches. Duke screaming at him, throw the damn towel. And Rocky freezes I mean, people were making fun of Kyle Lowry last night for just basically freezing in that Miami game. This was way worse. This was Apollo's life at stake.
At stake.
Also, Drago pushes the ref away,
right?
Which I'm pretty sure is a felony.
And a penalty. There's a point being taken away.
Pushes the ref away, and they're still like, "Oh, let's keep the fight going."
Yeah,
like, Drago should be in jail still.
Never getting out. He shouldn't be doing commercials in Germany for Kool-Aid and shit like that. He's making money all over the world doing commercials as Drago.
What's your biggest flaw in Rocky IV? Oh. Is it Stallone climbing the mountain, or is it the Mikhail Gorbachev lookalike with his henchman coming down from the luxury suite, which was like 1,000,000 miles away, and being able to get to the ring in like 10 seconds? That was tough.
There's some flaws.
That's a tough timing flaw.
There wasn't as many flaws in 4 as there was in 5, and then 6 is.
Well, 5, I don't count 5.
You don't?
No, I don't acknowledge 5.
But one of the great Mickey scenes of all time.
I don't acknowledge 5.
The flashback.
You know, Mickey wasn't wearing pants in any of those scenes.
Of course
so he just shot him from the chest up.
But those flashbacks they bring me to tears. Are you kidding me?
Nah.
I'm surprised that you didn't even buy into the flashbacks.
No.
Get up, you son of a bitch.
No.
Because Mickey loves you.
No.
Wow, Bill.
I don't agree.
Listen, Tommy Guns. I'm not saying it was a great movie. The faux hip hop was horrible.
The fake Don King was awful.
Oh.
E from Entourage, bullying Rocky's kid, I didn't like.
No, there's a lot of things I didn't like, but I could watch those scenes with Mickey when he comes in there, and he goes, Rocky Marciano gave these cufflinks, and I'm giving it to you. That was beautiful. It brings me to tears.
You might actually be a bigger Rocky fan than me, because I didn't like Rocky V.
I didn't say I liked it.
Even Sly has distanced himself from Rocky V.
What about
Sly distanced himself from it.
What about Rocky VI? What was it called? Rocky Balboa? Was that what it was called? That hurt my heart. I went opening day at the Chinese theater. That hurt my heart.
I like the fight.
Ugh.
The fight was good.
Ugh.
Anything to promote?
Nothing, man. I'm just happy to be here.
All right. See you soon. Thanks for coming.
Let's go Warriors. Don't play him in game 4 either.
Anytime y'all want to see me again.